welcome back to your channel and welcome to today's video. I hope you're all doing really well. Firstly, elephant in the room. We are not going to stay in this lovely background, unfortunately, with the lovely backdrop of the kitchen that is being renovated. But I just made a cup of tea, so I thought I would start the vlog here and introduce it. So basically today I just want to talk about all of the things that I do to save money online. And the reason I wanted to start it here is because I've been buying online a lot recently, not least for baby number 2. I've been buying a lot of things online because getting out to the shops with the toddler is not a thing, especially when you are heavily pregnant. And secondly, I've been buying a lot of things online for the kitchen. So I wanted to share some tips, tricks, hacks, whatever you want to call it, on how I've been saving money when I'm buying things online. Because let's face it, basically everything that I buy, and I'm sure it's the same for a lot of you, is online unless it's like the food shop, and even then I do tend to buy things online sometimes for the food shop as well. So yeah, I wanted to share my top list of tips and hacks for you guys to save your money, your well-earned money online. Let's face it, we need all the help we can get at the moment, so yeah, settle down, grab a cuppa and let's chat saving money. Okay, we're going to start off in George's room because the lighting at the moment is doing a mad one in this house. But number one, in terms of money saving tips when you're shopping online, I really wanted to talk about deleting your cookies. Because basically, our phones know everything. Our phones know what we want to buy. It's not just our phones, it's also if we've got like an Alexa or a Google Home or whatever they're called. Basically, if you search something one day, and it's X price. So for example, if you're looking for flights, this is a great example. So I use Skyscanner when I'm booking flights. I've been looking recently to book some flights for before baby comes. However, I was looking at flights one day, they were a certain price, and then I looked 2 days later and they on the same device, and they had increased significantly. When someone else searched them on a different device, they were the same price that I saw 2 days ago. So that proves to me that deleting my cookies would have prevented that price from going up. I definitely think this is a massive one for when it comes to booking flights, but also when you're looking at things on Amazon and other places, they are also listening. And if you're searching for a certain product a lot, they know that that's something that's in demand for you, and they're going to bump up the prices. But if you're smart enough and delete your cookies or don't accept them in the first place, if you're able to do that, I know it's kind of annoying to do that at the beginning, but if you delete your cookies or actually just don't accept them, then you're going to be able to save money when you're looking for something that you know that you're going to purchase. Number 2 is using cashback sites. Now this is something that I've got into recently, and oh my goodness, I've been saving so much money. There's so many different cashback sites that you can use, and you can use multiple ones at the same time, like to use different discounts, different cashback schemes when you're shopping around different shops. So for example, if you're buying things online like clothes, I love Georgia Asda for baby clothes and toddler clothes. I buy loads of stuff. I've literally got a pile of washing down here, and I could tell you about 90% of it is from Georgia Asda. You can actually use cashback on purchases like that and get money back when you shop. I'm all for frugal living and I'm not buying things when you don't need to buy them, but when you do have to buy things, using a cashback site is a really easy way of saving money on those purchases, like clothes, like baby products, like when you're renovating a kitchen and you're buying things online. Loads of sites like AO, for example, we got our fridge and freezer from AO, and I used the cashback sites to get money back on those big purchases. It all adds up, and when you're buying a lot of stuff especially is when you really see the cashback sites coming through. There are loads that you can use. Just type in cashback sites online and you'll be able to find loads and loads and loads. I actually think you'll be really surprised at how many shops are on these cashback sites, shops that you shop at daily. You don't have to change like where you shop to get this cash back. It's probably places that you already shop online at and you're not getting cash back from. And then if you start it, honestly, it's like addictive. You try and see how much you can save, and it's just like an absolute winner. A big one for us recently has been Screwfix. My other half has been going to Screwfix constantly with the kitchen renovation, and yeah, getting cash back on all of those items is just beautiful. So I would definitely recommend just having a little browse on a cashback site. You'll be really surprised at the shops that are on there, and also how much you can save in your like everyday purchases. Okay, so have you ever noticed when you're shopping on like international sites, so you've got like a really cool like Scandi website, or you're getting something from the States, or I don't know, anything really, you have to pay import tax on anything over £135, and sometimes that can kind of put you off because you're not sure if you're going to get that money back if you want to return the product, the import tax money. However, tip number 3 on my how to save money while shopping online is to use duty refunds if you are trying to reclaim your import tax on overseas purchases, if you're returning the item. So your customer rights are, if you actually want to return a product that you have purchased from an international website, then you're eligible to reclaim the import tax on that product. However, HMRC is not the easiest of things to navigate, and it's actually quite convoluted and quite complex to go about, you know, getting that tax reclaim, you know, yourself. And basically Duty Refunds is a website where they do all of the hard work. It's literally a 5-minute form that you fill out, and then that is it. Your work is done, and they do all of the legwork for you. They work really closely with HMRC and basically get you that import tax refund if you're returning a product. As a busy mum, as someone that genuinely like sometimes doesn't have the capacity, the mental capacity to fit something else in their brain, handing something like this over to people that know what they're doing really, really easily, simply just filling out a form, and then it's done, and getting money back, it's just a lifesaver. Duty Refunds is the UK's #1 online import tax reclaim website. It's the place to go. Basically, if you get something that you don't want from overseas, an international website, and you don't want to have to resell it on like Vinted or eBay or Amazon, you can actually return it, get your money back on the import tax, and that's where Duty Refunds comes in and they help you with that process. It usually takes about 4 weeks for the claim to go through, and they sort everything out with HMRC, and then the money goes straight into your bank account, no questions asked. Brilliant. Like, it's just so straightforward. It makes everything so much easier for us, the consumer, and you're saving your money because you're getting that money back that you've spent on the import tax originally, so you're not losing out. They only take a 15% service fee, and if they don't win your claim, then you don't have to pay them, so it's literally no risk at all. You're only going to benefit from actually going through this process, and you will have like a dedicated person on hand if you have any questions. You're going to be in contact with the same person every single time, not like going through this massive company of like different people. You're actually going to have someone dedicated to your case, which is really nice to have that personal touch. If, for example, you wanted to buy something from a foreign Amazon store that isn't, you know, on the UK Amazon, so for example Amazon.com, and then you ended up wanting to return it, you can actually go through Duty Refunds and claim that back, and they will do that for you. Also, they've given me a promo code to share with you guys, so if you use my code, which is SHAN10, you also get an additional £10 on top of your duty refund claim. So any money that you get back from your duty refund plus an extra £10 if you use my code. I'll link all the details down in the descriptions, all the T's and C's and stuff like that. Also kind of just saves you from selling stuff on eBay and Amazon. There's extra admin involved in that, in terms of getting things like uploaded and then going to the post office and sorting all of that out. You're never going to get your money back in terms of your import tax if you do that. You're just going to get the value of the item, whereas with duty refunds you're actually getting a lot of your money back, which is a perfect way to save online. Tip number 4 for saving your money when you're shopping online is to delete your shopping apps. I cannot tell you how revolutionary this has been for me, and the reason being, hear me out, is basically there's less temptation, right? There's less temptation to just browse and then accidentally buy something, or buy something that you don't really need because it's not at your fingertips. And also with your shopping apps, it's likely that you're going to have all of your card details saved on there. It's likely that, you know, they're going to alert you when they've got sales on and things like that. If you have less temptation and less at your fingertips access to shops and sales, you're less likely to impulse purchase, is what I'm trying to say. Obviously, if you're going out to buy something specific, then the other tips I've mentioned already are going to help you, because you're going to be able to save money on a purchase you're already intentionally actually going to make. If you're not thinking, right, I really need X product, if you're just browsing, you think, oh, they're cute, I'll buy them, and you're not like spending with intention, which is going to be another point that I'm going to come on to a little bit later in the video. So yeah, I would definitely say delete your shopping apps. Like, really, like, you don't need them. You're not really losing anything, you're just losing the temptation to spend your money when you you don't really need to. Tip number 5, one of my absolute favourites, and one that I was really sceptical of at first, but oh my gosh, it's revolutionary, for me anyway, is to use Amazon Subscribe and Save. Oh my goodness, guys, I've saved so much money using Amazon Subscribe and Save, it's unreal, on the things that I know that I purchase every single month, or every couple of months, or every 3 months. Really, when I look back, I go on Amazon quite a lot for like those reoccurring purchases. Giving examples, I buy baby wipes from Amazon. There's a huge box of baby wipes that you can get, literally the cheapest things I've ever seen in my life, that you can get on Subscribe and Save, and you save even more money because you're purchasing them every single month or every couple of months. I also get a lot of my skincare on there, so my like, you know, regular skincare, like my cleanser, my moisturizers. I have 2 different moisturizers, a day and a night one, and I get them both from Amazon Subscribe and Save, and I save like 10% I think each time I purchase it. I think I get my eyebrow dye on there. Like, there's a lot of like things that I consume, like, or I use, that I know that I'm going to repurchase on Amazon because it's cheaper on there. It's already cheaper, and then when you actually sign up to Subscribe and Save, it works out even cheaper than it was before, and I know that I'm going to make that purchase, and it just turns up at your door straight away. So I think it's a no-brainer. You can get nappies on there, you can get wipes on there. Think about those household items that you know you go through every single month, and you don't necessarily want to get them from the supermarket because, one, they're bulky, carrying those around when you've got like a toddler and a big bump in tow actually is just like inconvenient. All of them come to your door, like I said, but you're also saving money, and often on Amazon it's cheaper. I'm just going to put it out there, Subscribe and Save, most underrated way of saving online. Definitely highly recommend, check it out, think about those things that you purchase every single month and see how much money you can actually save on Amazon Subscribe and Save. Okay, and then tip number 6 is to shop out of season. And this is a really huge one actually. So for example, we're coming into the spring months, right? So when is best to buy a winter coat? Right now, let me tell you, buy a winter coat. At the moment, there are deals on everywhere, and you're probably still going to get a little bit of use out of it this year, but next year you're going to have saved, by the time like winter comes around, you're going to be thinking about your winter coat, or like how cold it is, and then you're going to get it out of the cupboard, and you would have probably saved like up to like 30%, 40% on that coat, whereas if you buy it in the coldest months of like November, December, January, February, you are going to pay a premium because you're buying it when it is in need and in like desire. So I would definitely say to shop out of season. That is just one example, and obviously, but with clothing, that is probably the most obvious. However, again, what I would say is waiting for like times of year where things are going to be cheaper. So for example, Black Friday, Amazon Prime days. Like, if you're going to make a big purchase and you know that you're going to make a big purchase, can you wait until Black Friday where you're going to be able to save loads of money on that item? Probably. If you want a new TV, for example, and it's not like urgent, don't buy it now, wait until November, wait until Black Friday, and you're going to make a massive saving. So I would say like shopping out of season / waiting for the sales to come essentially is a really good way of saving money when you're shopping online, especially. That point actually really nicely goes on to my next point, which is tip number 7, I believe, of this video to save money online, and it is to use a website called CamelCamelCamel. And I don't know if you've heard about this, but when I found out about CamelCamelCamel, it kind of revolutionised my shopping online addiction. Not necessarily I have an addiction for shopping, but like when I shop online, basically. And CamelCamelCamel is a website that tracks the price of Amazon products, basically. So it will show you a price of a product. You can put in the link to the product, the Amazon product that you're thinking about buying, and then it will tell you how much that's gone up and down in price over the course of X amount of time. So, for example, on Black Friday, did you know that sometimes a lot of products aren't the cheapest they've ever been, and they were cheaper like 3 weeks beforehand, and maybe on a Prime Day, so a certain product was actually cheaper again 3 weeks ago because they kind of raise the price, and then they say that the price has dropped loads to make it seem like it's a massive discount, when in actual fact it's not. So again, I think that is a really, really good website to keep an eye out on. Have a little search up if you are shopping the Prime days, or if you're shopping Black Friday deals or sales or anything like that. They do this website. It's not just CamelCamelCamel. There are other websites that do similar things for different products. But this one I would say I use the most because I shop on Amazon an awful lot. And it's really interesting to see, like, if they're just trying to say that a price of a product has dropped, and it hasn't really, because it used to be that price and then they put the price up and then they put the price back down, so it hasn't dropped 30%. You aren't making a saving, it's actually just the same price as it always was. So it's really interesting, and definitely a good way of saving money when you're shopping online, because you're not going to make those purchases on an impulse just because you think it's a 30% saving, for example. I know that I've fallen like foul of this before, but I've stopped myself a few times by checking CamelCamelCamel to make sure that I am actually making a proper saving. Okay, and then tip number 8, my final tip for saving money when you're shopping online is to shop with intention. And I know that kind of sounds like, what do you mean by that? But shopping with intention just means you're not falling foul of the old tricks of the trade, and you're not impulse purchasing. This can be like making a list, for example, of the items you actually need to go and purchase. So for example, when I'm gonna do like an Amazon shop, because you always have to get like £20, don't you, to get the free delivery, I always have to try and get like £20 in my basket to get like free delivery. So I always make a list, and I like intentionally say like, I am going to purchase these things, and then once that list hits to around about the £20 mark is when I'll purchase. But not only that, it's also like if you are going on an online shopping website like H&M or ASOS or anywhere like that, where it's very easy to like get sidetracked and go off in like tangents, make a list of the products that you need. So for example, if you know that you need to buy 5-pack of leggings for your toddler, a couple of jumpers and some socks, make that list and then stick to it. Setting a list and like your budget as well is actually a really helpful way of saving money online, because you're kind of reined in by yourself rather than being sucked into like sales and deals that aren't always necessarily deals and sales, like we've seen loads already in this video. So I would definitely say like shopping with intention, not like going onto your phone apps, for example. If they're deleted, then that's a lot easier. Just buy the things that you need, and then that's it. Like, you don't have to buy things that you just don't need just on an impulse purchase. It's really easy to do that, especially in this day and age. On Instagram you get ads all the time, on your apps and stuff you get notifications. Like, cleansing yourself of that a little bit, I feel like is a really, really easy way of just saving money online. Like, it really is. And it's just like, it's a mindset thing more than anything. So I would definitely say like shopping with intention, making a list, sticking to it, and reining yourself back in on the occasions that you can is definitely worth doing. But yeah, those are my biggest tips in terms of saving money when you're shopping online. Like I said, I've been making a lot of big purchases recently, and I've definitely been using these tips to help me save as much money as I possibly can. The duty refunds one was a massive eye-opener for me in terms of knowing that I could actually make those international website purchases and not have any risk, because I'm going to be able to get my import tax back if I wanted to return that product by using the duty refund service. So again, if you want to know anything else about duty refunds, then I'll pop a few details down in the description box along with my discount code for those guys. Thank you so much guys for watching this video, and I'll catch up with you very soon with a few house and life updates. I think it's very much due, but for now I'm going to love you and leave you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.